This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. On becoming a manager, Melvin was verklempt. He was recently promoted to manager, and now his life is a living heck. I need to make sure our website is immune to SQL injection attacks, he proclaims. But my direct reports keep wanting to talk to me about irrelevant stuff. One of them was going on and on about their Kansas City summer vacation. I don't have time for this stuff. Au contraire, Melvin. That's French. It means on the contrary. This is now the most important part of your job. When you're promoted to manager, your job changes. Your job is no longer getting things done. Now it's getting stuff done through other people. And it's the through other people that becomes the focus of how you spend your time. When Melvin's a programmer, his job is to make sure the green growing things website is immune to SQL injection attacks. When Melvin is promoted to manager, however, his new job is to make sure that his team is making the website immune to SQL injection attacks. In an ideal world, Melvin shouldn't even be putting his hands to the keyboard. I can hear his shrieks of horror in the background. So what should Melvin be doing? Taking his attention off the computers and on to the people. He needs to be growing and facilitating his department. That means understanding their technical problems just enough to identify and hire other people who can solve those problems. When he interviews job candidates, he needs to be able to ask them questions that will reveal whether they know or can learn to harden the website against attacks. And once hired, he needs to put them in the job that matches their skills so that they can be the ones who solve the SQL injection attacks. It's true that in some companies and some places, managers may sometimes do some direct individual contributor work themselves, but that's less and less true as you move up the corporate hierarchy. By the time you're at the executive level, you should be spending 80% or more of your time on people issues, making sure that the other people in the organization can and are completing their jobs. If you've come up through a functional area, as most people do, you're suddenly, subtly, no longer doing what you used to do. Now, your job is facilitating other people's skills. But if you have no prior experience doing this, how in the world do you even begin? Use a 4-part framework. What to, how to, want to, and chance to. Communicate the what to. First and foremost, you need to make sure that your people know what they should be doing. Now, this sounds obvious, but it may not be. Your team should keep the shelves stocked. Which shelves? How full is stocked? And stocked with what? You need to work with each team member to understand how the team goals translate into their personal goals. You need to help them recognize when they are and aren't meeting those goals, and help them get to the root of any gap that might exist. Then, you need to help them get to the point where they can recognize that on their own without your intervention. Develop the how-to. Your team knows what to do. Now make sure they know how to do it. Now, you may think that if you hired the right people, of course they know how. Not necessarily. People get promoted, and then they need to learn their new job, just as Melvin needs to learn to shift from an individual contributor to a manager. Also, people aren't perfectly matched to jobs. Sometimes you don't know what skills a job will require, and sometimes the skills needed may change. Marketing gets revolutionized by the new plorpyourcustomers.com, so even the best existing marketer may need to learn how to plorp. Don't be afraid to ask your people, where do you need extra training or development, and help them arrange classes for them. Your job also includes scanning the landscape to know what trends are on the horizon and help them anticipate the skills that they'll be needing. Cultivate the want to. Of course, if you want them to stick around and do a good job, people must want to do their job. Most people don't. According to Gallup research on employee engagement, over 70% of employees are not engaged in their job. They find their jobs uninspiring, boring, and life-sucking, even if they show up every day and put in the hours. Your job is to engage your employees. Help your team tap into their motivation by understanding the big picture, how they fit into it, and why it matters. How does each person's work make the company more successful and help serve your customers' needs? You also need to monitor the mood and morale of the group. Know what's up with everyone. And if there are conflicts between people, your job is to mediate. If someone's going through a rough patch, your job is to help them cope. You don't need to be a therapist, but you do need to remember that your employees are human. Like it or not, they're at work because they have to be, not because they necessarily care about it. Indeed, 70% of them don't, according to Gallup. If someone's mother is on her deathbed and you explain how the customer sales report simply has to be done by Friday anyway, understand that you're the reason when that person checks out emotionally from the job forever. The final part of your job is making sure that your people have the chance to do their job. You get to be the great wall between them and people outside the group who would suck up their time and attention. When there's a political problem, you take care of it so they can keep working. When they need a new laser printer, you make sure it's there for them. If they need an enterprise-level subscription for plorpyourcustomers.com, you find the budget, and then you help them master their email, their internet distractions, and manage their time. In fact, you recommend that all of them listen to Get It Done Guy's Quick and Dirty Tips to Work Less and Do More, just for example, so that they have the chance to do their job. What we've been listening to is Melvin's new job, and it's changed. His job is no longer writing SQL code to get things done. Now he has to get things done through other people. And that means his job is people, not coding. And it's simple. All he has to do is make sure his people know what to do, know how to do it, want to do it, and have the chance to do their work. It's simple, but not easy. What to, how to, want to, and chance to. I'm Steve Robbins. Email topic suggestions to getitdone@quickanddirtytips.com. I help high achievers change their behavior to advance their careers. If you want to know more, visit steverobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.